I'm going to moderate this panel. I'm Anissa Touati. I'm a curator and I'm a researcher at Brown University in the USA. And today we are going to speak. The title of the panel is Thousand Gardens from Hazaribagh to Buriganga, with my French accent. I'm sorry. And we are going to read the intertwined histories of the natural world and human intervention in Bangladesh through the lens of Britto Arts Trust and Brihatta Foundation. So I'm happy to have today the two co-founder of Britto Arts Trust, but even though you are more people in the trust, Mahbubur Rahman, artist and co-founder of Britto Arts Trust, and Tayeba Begum, Lipi. Thank you for being with us. And Bishwajit Goswami, who is an artist and a professor at Dhaka University, and also the co-founder of Brihatta Foundation, and Nusrat Mahmud, who is a co-founder of Brihatta Foundation, who is not with us, but she's online, and she's going to answer some question at some point. And so this conversation explore the intertwined history of Dhaka across diverse settings, and including kind of local community program, but also how to raise a foundation in such a context, and how to build programming involving local communities, artists, and more. I will start with Brihatta Foundation and with you Bishwajit. The Brihatta Foundation is a research-based, artist-led foundation based in the city, kind of in the old city of Dhaka in Bangladesh, in an old tannery that you have completely remodeled. I have the chance to visit it, and it's really impressive, actually. And can you tell us about the work you do with the local communities and artists to create projects with a strong social impact in a difficult context, but also about the importance of the location in a dense and polluted area of the capital of Dhaka?
Thank you, Anissa. This is wonderful the way we are having all together. So Britto is here. So they have also wonderful experience in city like Dhaka, how they can also connect with the locality, also the way how connect with all around the world. So like Brihatta, when we started, and then again we go to the Hazaribagh. Hazaribagh is a very interesting word for us, like thousand garden. So when first during the pandemic time, when we go there, so this is like for us, where is the garden? Where's the essence of flower? So this is totally missing there. So when I went there, I even don't find any grass. So, but it is thousand garden, and it is very nearby the river Buriganga. As I consider, there is a lot of 100 years of history connecting the river and the community based on old Dhaka. So it was a completely contrast experience for us to get a different smell, even different kind of a channel, where it was before a tannery for 7 decades, and all the tanneries, how it's even killing the river, and also it's very difficult to survive for the local community. So for us, like we always try to see the possibility, even there is some uncertainty, or even the pandemic during that time, how we realize about our life. So we just play with art, how art can be also part of life. So then we connected the word Hazaribagh, thousand garden. We created a garden where people can come, they can feel comfort, they can start dialogues, and how we can also make a relationship with our community. Even it might be also in immediate community. So here we are having a lot of different kind of project, like as we mentioned, sometimes we are having project with local people. Even we connect with how we can decentralize the community, how they belong with other side of the Dhaka, so, other side of Bangladesh. Like we bring people from artisan community or indigenous community to the space, even the local community or other people from the other community from the globe. So there is a chance, even sometimes we participate to create, and sometimes we participate to receive. So it's like a exchange, like how art can create the dialogues to exchange, to offer and to receive. So this perspective is totally changed the locality. So the people like a rickshaw puller or a deliver, where they used to work for tannery or making leather or processing leather, now they are also talking about art, how it is very rare practice in city like Dhaka. You never bring a people how they can also go to participate in a gallery or museum. So this is, I think, very interesting how we started in Hazaribagh. And for sure it's like I can recall the river, how river always create her own destiny. It's very fluid, and who knows. So this is the way how we always try to find something, how it can also reflect a different identity for the community through art practices.
Maybe Bishwajit, you can answer this question as well, because also it's very part of your work and of the installation you are presenting today, named Porisho, which means identity in Bangla. And please explain a bit what links both the foundation and the spirituality and the foundation.
So I think, yeah, so this inspiration coming from through my memories, like when I see my childhood. So there is also river, how I see the river affiliation with people. So for me also, it is very interesting the way I connecting river through my childhood. And again, when I see myself in foundation, so then I again find a different identity, like as a practitioner, as an artist. Sometimes I feel that I was very individual, like I produce my work and moving to the gallery and show my exposition. That is the way I can also maybe transform my identity. But through the foundation, I believe there is another way I can create that channel. Like there is a lot of channels how it connect, and it's make that togetherness. And through river Buriganga, even if you see the city Dhaka, so there is always a lot of chaos and lot of noise. So I always try to go through a meditation, like how we can build that symphony. So when you see the river, maybe Buriganga is too dark, but the reflection from the moonlit night, you see the shiny thing. So there is hope. So we believe we need to keep that hope, and we just continue in a very positive way how we can nurture our identity. And for sure, like land like Bangladesh, it is very fertile, and we are resilient people. Like river always bring flood. Sometimes it's all not only just bring flood, it's also bring the clay, the poly, so which is very important for the cultivation. So as an artist or a group of people, how we run the foundation, this is like a cultivation with a collective spirit. So this way, this is very interesting. Even when we see like a professor or a rickshaw puller, they sit together and they start the dialogues. So this is for me also very interesting to see the different way to explore the identity. So this is, yeah, the way Brihatta always working to see the possibility in a very alternative way.
Behind us, we have a picture of the installation, the performing installation you are doing at today, like at Asia Now. Can you explain a bit on the picture what we see?
So here also very interesting thing, like you see in the up there is two river, Ganga and Brahmaputra. They're connecting and create another river. So this is also transformation in a different identity coming to Meghna, and Meghna also go forward to again connecting the big ocean. So this is the way how we can also see the our rich ritual practices, how it also brings the lands, people, even the river. So it's also a combination to keep our existence and to build that coexist identity to go with that flow. So for me, this is like when I do the performance. So I also get the opportunity to know from other people, starting the conversation and also collecting their memories, their ritual, their storytelling, and I'm putting through my mother tongue in like a mantra. So I'm repeating their voices, their stories or rituals through cables, and it's like also process to meditating in some way. And this is also how we put our all energies, our spirit together, so all the cables connecting together, and also it giving us an opportunity to see the infinity of our possibility. So yeah, for me, this is the way how I looking forward for my identity.
Yes, and I think also it's important to show like some, because you sent me some images and like a few like 2 years ago I think you were like a co-curators of the Dhaka Art Summit, and you did also like a project linked to the river at that time. And we have some images also behind, but maybe can you give a few words about also this project?
So this is the title of the project. Doito means duality, and if you see the typography, this is also coming from River Meghna. So as we are having research based integration, like to understand about the river, so our scientists, they also discovered that Meghna is now very calm, so it will become more ferocious in future. So it's also, there's a duality. So people like Bangladesh, when I see the country, so it is not only the city, like most of the people go to the summit to see the essence of the country. So they just compare with the city like Dhaka. So we bring those essence where we can also find there's a lot of possibilities how rivers sometimes also take away our home. So then also we go for keep our hope, and we dream for a new home. And this is our nature, like how river or our land always give that energy to build and to create. So in that Dhaka Summit, that project, we bring the delta of our land, how all the rivers spreading here and there, and how it's also making a beautiful character of our community, and how we are practicing with different kind of thing, like cultivation is also important, river is important, land is important. So how it's bring that culture, how it brings our daily process of our life, how we can celebrate, we can be part of it. So here even we can see the Sundarban. We had one phase where we connect with Sundarban. So Sundarban is a very large mangrove forest where we see any of our natural calamity, how it's always protect. So it's also like a mother how she always giving us the shade to protect us. So country like Bangladesh, there is always some sort of obstacles or struggle, some sort of suffering, but till then we always believe in hope, and which is I believe as a curator or artist, this is most important ingredients for me to go with that passage and to bring something and build something for our uh, society.
Thank you, Bishwajit.
Thank you, Anissa.
Yeah, I'm talking about home. I'm going to now like speak with you about also because you are we have a home made by you in the courtyard. It's kind of a social kitchen, a site specific installation. I will just have the next images, please, like this one. So like Mahbub just like draw the the sketch for us. And can you just like turn the images, or it's? But it show kind of like the route of the installation from the documenta to the Diriyah Biennale to Aja now, and it's going back to Bangladesh. The project soon. That's what you were saying, and I would like to you to explain how the importance of this community project and how is this being deployed both in Bangladesh and abroad.
Hello, everybody. Thank you to being here, and we're also very excited to coming in Paris, such a wonderful city. Yeah, the Paghor it is actually any project, any of our project. It takes time to get shape, and because of we try to engage a lot of artists, and we try to maximize the participation, artist participation. It's quite interesting to involve a lot of artists for one single project. There is a kind of lack of opportunity to practice art. And other hand, every of us, we have an individual practice, and we also thinking, why don't we have a contribution together and be together and develop a project? And that is kind of the process to know each other and learn from each other. So we always trying to maximize. And the Paghor project, there's a lot of artist engagement. Not only the artists, there's many artisan also engaged. And the process of the construction, we are not like a architect, but we build a space. So there's a lot of complicacy, technical problem, and a lot of issues are coming, and that is also going to make us more matured. So the form getting more different dimension, and this is kind of playing with the space and then plant, and then the structure and the materials are very sustainable materials. The bamboo. And bamboo has a kind of character, within a short time it's get matured, and it can last longer time if you behave with the bamboo, nicely. Like it can last 50 years, 25 years. So if you compare with the balance of the nature, if you use a stone and to make the building, of course we need a huge infrastructure to build to use those kind of materials to build a huge structure. But there is another possibility to reduce, to use the materials from the minefield, from the nature. Now the iron is getting very popular, and sand getting very popular. The next in the future, the glass will be the very usable materials, even the mobile chips and other. So the materials coming from the nature, and it's quite interestingly we're thinking like of course we need a technology, but how much we can reduce. So this is kind of back-end mind, something is behind. It's not expose, it's not a speaking, but it is through the process, to develop a lifestyle. So Paghor, we do project, of course, in the city, of course, in the white cube. We are not, we're not like the rejecting. We are very inclusive because it's a kind of journey. If you see the diagram I showed, like document is it's like a highest space to communicate with the art scene, and then Diria Biennale, the new coming culture, like Saudi trying to come up with the cultural practice. And they started Biennale. It's the second Biennale, right, in Saudi Arabia. Before they didn't have a Biennale. And then we come to Paris, the the heart of the world. Everything, wherever I go, I feel so happy and looking here and there. It's like a picking kind of flower on the ground. So it's such a wonderful city, and we bring that that project in the it's a very heart of the world, and a lot of people coming and they're enjoying they're understanding the materials. It's like a learning process or introducing the materials in somehow. It's not a conscious decision. It's come later, no? The thought process develop in a the while you are practicing, and then we did just before coming here, we did a project that Paghor in coastal area. The project called Shohornama, we did it long ago, like 2018, and that was like a city base. We're spreading out in the city, doing the graffiti and performance, a lot of action, activation, more like artistic attitude and craziness. And then we have back in our mind, okay, we'll do a similar kind of version in this year. But nothing are absolute. Things will change like overnight. So certainly we got a flood. It's the flood is like a wash down to the everything, and the building. I mean the Madu house. The overnight the house get a flood. So it was like shocking. When it's hard to bear. The people struggling. So Lipi and me, we are the curator of the next Shohnama. So we have another curator. She's from Taiwan, Sandy. So I was calling, look, can we change our idea, concept? We can little twist. And we had a conversation and meeting. And then we decided, let's go to the coastal zone. And the budget we had for the event in the city for the urban people, wrapped up that partly that process and take it there, and then we started the parkour over there. How the parkour is jumping to the next to the very simple people who needs food actually, who can't cook there. There is a lot of aids coming, but those are dry enough. Potable, dry, and they are looking for the warm food and real food. So we established a parkour over there. And it's very interesting. The Paghur was, unfortunately, I couldn't go because me and Lipi we were engaged in a different thing, health issue of Lipi's. So, there's a lot of conversation and a lot of research coming up of how the city people, this government, broke down the natural process, because these people, for 300 years, they're surviving. They don't have a problem. But once the technology going, once the government decided to make a dam, and they chop all the tree and make the new dam, but the dam couldn't hold that water force because there's no tree, only the dam. So it just wash out, and overnight the water get into their polder, that area.
And I think you are working also on a project like of housing, with Marina Tabassum, right? Like or another like
not with the other. But we have some that research team, when they installed the the parkour. They also did the research about the house, because all the house broke down, and because of they used to make with a mud house, and now the mud get a lot of salt, so it's lost the plasticity, and they are not they lost the interest. So the team researched their accommodation system, and then we also install the parkour for 500 people, one meal for 7 days, just for the emergency time. And then we did a plan, do the little research, and we are made some structural design, and we're doing the research to make a sustainable house, affordable and comfortable kind of space. So there's some reference. It just started. So our idea to make one house there, one prototype house, give the design materials and the how much it would be cost, and how could they access the materials, and if they like it, they will do. If not, it's more like a sculpture than kind of sculpture the being. Huh? So that was like in the last project.
And I mean, I was looking at all what you have done, and I think it's so impressive. And I didn't know where to start actually when I was looking at all of your project, and I was completely, like even moved. But the project you have done with the local community, like around the countryside in Bangladesh, and how also, because as Europeans and, like being in the north, you're kind of a bit disconnected with what art should be sometimes. And what we were saying before, like we always put everything, in white cubes. Sometimes it's nice, but at the beginning, arts come from, your grandmother who is just, like showing us doing something in front of her house and everything. And maybe you can show us like the images of, because you have done like a lot of projects in the countryside. And please, I just don't want to say it bad, because I think my accent is not good. That you.
We don't speak in English, none of us. So we have our own language, and we're proud of that. Anyway, but that's the only thing that can communicate, like make us communicate with others. Actually, sometimes we just find that what is art and why are we doing this? Like we all have, what Mahbub said, that we all have individual practices, but at the same time, like you as a social being, you always have kind of responsibility for the society that you feel, because you are a human being. And of course, like a studio practice for an artist is important, but at the same time, you cannot avoid the situation of the country, like, or the neighborhood or the people next to you. So, so that engage you to communicate with others, to learn what they are going through and how you can be part of it. You cannot be part of it actually, because their life is different. You have to be there, then you can be part of it. And the people who we work with in countryside, they're mostly indigenous people. So we have a project called Prantika Prakitijan that you could not pronounce. You cannot. It's actually a bit tough, Bangla. So it means the people from age, border age. So we, from 2009 actually onward, we went through all these indigenous communities from Bangladesh. It was very hard because they don't trust us, because we have manipulated them. We have taken over everything. We wanted to colonize them from the beginning, so that, it's not their fault that they don't trust us. So it's hard to, make the trust that we are not harmful, we can feel your pain, you know. So then, you know, you have to start going there, making friends like one by one, and then you get the community. You can understand the community. So that's how we started. Sometimes those places don't have any running water, no toilet, no electricity. So our team had to go a bit early to make a toilet for us. And then we keep it like this for the community. And then we are very careful about the artworks or whatever, you know, it's all process based. It's not about you are making a product. So we said that you make your product in your studio, that's fine, but not here. It's okay. If you are not working, if you are not doing a piece of work, it's fine. You just make your way to understand those people, to communicate those people, to feel like what they actually thinking about, what they're going through. So we found in each area, we found that they're forgetting even their rituals, their festivals, because they don't have money to do it. So in most cases. So whatever budget we have like a small budget to do all these things. So whatever budget we have, we can go there and spend the whole amount of money to revive those things. Like, you know, even some areas, they have so good, like, theaters that they have been doing forever, like since many, many years. They stopped doing it because, you know, the people who are working in the field, just doing agriculture, they are actually acting. They are the theater people. And they say that if we are going for the rehearsal even, we are losing the day. So if we are losing the day, we are losing the money. So it's a loss for the family. So that's how it was going on. So in most cases, artists were doing like performances with the local communities, using the local materials, whatever they have. And sometimes they are not even doing any artworks. It's like they're writing some things or documenting or taking interviews of the people and just trying to understand those communities. So after like 12 or 10, 12 years or 10 years, 13 years, we thought that why don't we go back there? So when Documenta came up, we just created another project called Fera, means revisit. So we revisited those places. So when you go there after 12 years with the photographs you had before, and then you exhibit like in an alternative space, making bamboo structures and all this, and exhibiting the photographs, you find that many people already passed away because in most cases there is no hospitals and they can't afford to come to the town for their treatment. So they, many of them, we found that they die actually in an early age. And they have different languages also. So that's another issue. You may know that Bangladesh had in 1952, we had a language movement. But we always think about ourselves, the mainstream people who lost this, who lost that, and we want to just value our own losses, not the others. So these people are also like, with the borderline with India, they are the sufferer as well, but we don't think about them. And we don't understand their language. And their Bangla, like the mother tongue that we have, that's not really very fluent. So they can't make you understand what the problem is. And of course, our government never thought about them. So you find them, they are just flying away. Like Bangladesh has become a big Muslim country now. Because we were not like that. Even in 1971, we had like 22% of Hindus in Bangladesh. Now it's 7%. And 1947, we had like 33% of Hindus in Bangladesh. So now it's 7%. Can you imagine how many people have left the country? So we really don't bother about the other people, just think about ourselves. So that happened. So when we went back to those places after like 10 years, 12 years, we found that they have electricity now. They have mobile phone in their hands. But there are plastic bags everywhere that we didn't find before. So we went through their kitchens also, just randomly for this project. And we found the whole kitchen has like all these small plastic things. So that happened. This kind of social crisis or social changes are there. And of course, it's like, they even don't know that it's polluting the whole thing. Whole area. So the hill that we saw before, this time we saw it's a lake. The whole thing is gone. So that kind of things are happening, but we are not allowed to talk about it, or we are not allowed to do any activism, regarding these problems in Bangladesh. None of the government actually don't like to speak about this. So, so this is happening. So we thought that, okay, we are not political people, we are artists. So we will do it on our own way. So we have done for the document, we have done, during the revisit, we have done this big project with the 3-channel video piece, which was showed at Documenta at Documenta Halle, next to all other projects of ours. So we had like all together about 7 projects there. And all of them are really tough because they were all very large projects. And so we are happy in one way that at least we can showcase, the problems that they are going through. But at the same time, we are unhappy what is happening over there, how we are destroying the whole communities, like other communities in Bangladesh.
Yeah, it's a way to be political, but in a delicate way, in a way, because you cannot show anything, say through art, it's kind of a political act.
You can showcase, but it's getting difficult day by day. What do you say? So I think even 20 years back, what we just showcased in Bangladesh, what we exhibited in Bangladesh, I don't think we can do it now. No, impossible.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Lipi gave the path. But in the path, there is a lot of experience. She already mentioned the Prantike Prakitijan, the concept came from the question. We talk about the partition. We always talk about the Muslim minority and Hindu minority, but we never talk about the ethnic community who are also divided because of the partition, the border. That we have maybe 28 or more ethnic community. Most of them are living there, the next to the border area. So while we were going there, we found that some of the family are living, or some maybe a wife, they marry someone from India, or because they're the same ethnicity. So that is quite interesting thing, and then we found how the nature is changing because of the open minefield. The ceramics clay they are taking from cutting the hill, and that hill belongs to some community like Hajung or Hajung Mandi, but they staying in their lifestyle to stay on the top of the hill, and the rest of the flatland they cultivate the craft. So they don't want to waste the flatland. So that's why they're staying on top. And and other things like they are also used to hunting, so that is the safest place to stay. But while they are taking the clay, they are cutting like that, getting very close to their house and getting sharp. So they are not forcing them to out, but it's very dangerous. No, landslide can be happening anytime. So they move to their place and come to the lowland. And then as Lipi mentioned that the boulder stone collecting from the store that the hill to we need a lot of sand and stone to develop our road and buildings, because it did very 30 years Dhaka changed like a abnormally, because I grown up in old Dhaka and I saw how land is grabbing by the so-called development, so-called economical growth. So that video reflecting this kind of issue, and then reflecting the language, as Lipi mentioned, how we are teaching those indigenous people, Bengali, and they also trying to teach their own language. So in that video, this thing also, schooling process also there, and also again the climate change and how the coastal zone getting threatened, and because of there's a lot of industry growing, refinery growing, making, and then the power plant, many power plant coming very fast, and then the ash flying somewhere, and it's landing. It's not like that you put the long chimney and it will go into the heaven. It's just landing again to the ground. And we found the previous time the plant was different, right? When we go there this time, we found that the coconut tree, the other tree, getting very thin. I mean, the kind of dying, because of the ash is falling on the plant, and then while that tree is falling, some tree they put it to protect the coastal zone, and it's falling, dying, and the water level is coming. So these are things that came to the video, and that is really poetic way. The whole process was really it's beautiful, but if you talk about behind that issue, you can understand, oh my God, the beauty and aesthetics and the reality is quite, it's living in two different directions.
I mean, we are going to...
Can I just add one thing? Yes. Just we are very happy, actually. I just wanted to share this with you guys. Yes, we talked about the language, the Bangla, and they are like the language from the ethnic communities. They all have like individual language that we don't understand. So one of our artists from Chittagong last year, he did a project actually with us with the Muro community. That was the last project from Pranthikar Prakitajon. So he actually worked on their alphabets. And then we published a book this year in February. And we distributed 500 books in the school for the beginners, for the kids to learn their own language. So that was something we are very proud of. At least we did this small project. Not maybe publicly publicized that much, but it like gave us some happiness. At least, one artist wanted to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you brought like a lot of books about your projects, so because there is so much project. So I invite everyone to look at it. Yeah. And I mean, I will open the conversation to the public. And if someone wants to ask a question, I think, yes, Natalie.
Yes, hi, thank you, Anissa. Actually, I'm Nathalie Guillot, the founder of Fondation Tali, and I organized a trip in Dhaka with the foundation, and Anissa was part of the trip. I have a very pragmatical question about the climate change. Actually, this foundation that I created is very engaged in the awareness on the ecological narratives, but also on eco-design and the question of the over-consumerism, the production during for the exhibition that we made, and the role of the artists and the designer to raise awareness, education, etc. So the question is, what can we do together to accelerate the awareness from the north side to the south side, and reinforce the strength between the private institutional actors. I think it's very important, more than ever, to work in collaboration. So I'm very aware. I'm very open to any partnership regarding this artist dealing with this question of depletion of resources and climate change. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Is there another question in the public?
আমি ইংরেজিতে বলছি. Listening to you, I didn't know about your impressive project, though I'm from Bangladesh. Sorry. But listening to you, my first question was about the name, Brihatta, and how big did you see your project in the beginning? But as you spoke, the three of you, you have three main dimensions I see in it, from local to universal, local to community, individual to community, local to universal, and the different disciplines. Because did you see that from the beginning, or your ideas evolved? And in your ideas, the question which came to you, which is not on your specific discipline, was environmental. And environment issues, as you have mentioned, is universal. Local cannot be solved. So you are learning through your process and you have come, but at the end, it is disheartening to know that you cannot grow further. What you have learned, you're not able to show anymore, but you have learned. And how do you want to deal with this issue?
Should I start? Yeah. Thank you. I think this is very interesting way how we can see the journey. I think it's a journey, like the way we can also find ourselves, like even the Brihatta, how we started. So we had something in our mind, in our soul, and the reality, how we are always just forwarding. So as a co-founder, when I also started my journey as an artist, individual artist, and also studying in my faculty in Charukala in Bangladesh, and going back to again other institute where Shantiniketan, this is also founded by Tagore. So I believe this is very interesting. Through two different institute, it's also giving me a different perspective to understand as an individual or as a collective. So if I consider Tagore, so why he shifted him from the Jorashaku to Shantiniketan. Shantiniketan is a place where you will find the indigenous community. So it was not his own home, but he traveled. So that quite interesting, and it's created institute, a learning place where we can find each other from all over the universe. And it's a meeting place where we can learn, even no need to follow your mentor. Even a tree can be your mentor. So this is, I think, a very interesting learning from, even for my life, even when I coming back to my country, and then I also be attached with my surroundings. So I also find same minded people, like we created that collective. And as I'm also teaching, so how Lipi and Mahbubur also shared that there's a lot of even obstacles, some sort of limitations, like till then our institutional practices creating the pedagogy is very based on very colonized, like the way how the European or Western people, they showed us that this is the way you can learn, but in other way we can also even learn from even a farmer, how every day he is going to cultivate his own land. So this kind of thing you bring in a different landscape, and then you can also start like the Hazaribagh, the space of Brihatta. This is like a metaphoric way. This is sort of an example. So when we are talking about 1,000 gardens, in everywhere in the world there is garden. We are looking for garden. We need to garden. We need to be get that essence from our surroundings, where we can get the peace. We can talk more freely to like express our identity or express our beauty, to share with others. So for us, like art is also like a participation with life. How we can be participate. We can create those kind of dialogues. It might be creating an art piece, or it might be also participating to just only enjoy, to listen, to see or to absorb using our senses. So for me, it is also using our senses, which is very important, and how it is going on. Even Natalia, how she discovered the foundation, she was quite confused when she was downstairs. So it was like a dark place, and go inside, it's everything dark and very noisy, and also smell is like leather, toxic. And when we just discovered that rooftop, it's completely different, and there is no bad smell. So we try to like, the building name is Mukti, which is freedom, and Brihatta means immensity. So it's an immense freedom, what we need in all over the globe. So that freedom can also give us that opportunity to meet each other. So it's a space where we can create the dialogues, and we can participate to make our relationship for something, who knows. So it's also like a river, how we can every day follow that Buriganga. So Buriganga also connecting from Ganga, which is from the Himalaya. So there is a stream, there is a spirit. And those, as an artist, how we believe that spirit is very essential, how we can also explore through our activities. So like Britto, how they also connecting the whole landscape in Bangladesh, connecting even the ethnic community, why those things is more important, to see the macro way, to even who we consider always they are minor. I don't believe that. Maybe we'll find something which might be very major. So the major thing is how they're creating their life for every day, how they cultivate, how they nurture. So we need to also listen to them. We need to see the way how they survive. How about they're protecting the nature? So that animism is also matter for the current world, how we are always running. We are running, and then we never think that why we are running. So sometimes also we need pause. So that pause is sometimes also bringing us together.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just a question to Lipi, actually, because you mentioned about this fascinating project that you're doing in the with the, let's say, call it the first citizens, shall we? As you mentioned about the ethnic minorities over there. I mean, I find that what you're doing in terms of trying to preserve or trying to respect their ways of life, their culture, is fascinating. But what is the reaction of them to these pieces of art? Because sometimes they might feel that they're actually being held back, and they might actually wish to go forward in terms of trying to gain the Bangla language and trying to be a part of what they see as development in other parts of the country. In other words, it's difficult. It's a difficult contradiction to manage, because on the one hand, we try and preserve these practices, and on the other hand, they might feel that these practices are actually making them move forward at a lower speed. Do you know what I mean? So do you face this in terms of the reaction from them?
I just told that we have been there. It's okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I was not listening myself. So when we went there first, it was very natural. We didn't find anything like it. Was very spontaneous. But after 10 years or 12 years, when we have been there, it was different. Everybody is connected. They know Facebook, they know Wi-Fi. The houses are changed, we used to stay in the temples, someone else's verandas, or in the stores they have, like a small stores. And those stores has it's like lumbung. And sometimes we were afraid of snakes, because it was really dark and they had snakes and everything. So after 10, 12 years, when we have been there again, the boys we saw who were enjoying with us is a big guy. And he has got a really good mobile in his hand, So life has changed, and you cannot blame them. You cannot expect that people will stand somewhere and then hold the whole thing. But what we were missing, we are not really promoting their culture. We are not supporting their values and their lifestyle and all this. So that is missing. And in some of the areas, we just found that the village was very big before. Now it has become really small, maybe 7 families only. And some of the houses are abandoned. And we asked them, where are they? And they said, they are gone to Myanmar. Or maybe, some other countries. So that kind of things are happening. If you are happy with your own culture, if you're happy with your own land, own community, and if you feel like this is your right to be here, then you don't move. You are there anyway. I'm from a very small village, a small town. But I live in Dhaka, in a capital city, but I always feel like, in my dream, whenever, something comes up, and even I see in my dream, not connected with anything but my house, my old house. So nobody wants to move from their own roots, but people are moving. That's what is, I think, is shocking and sad part. And one of the places we went there 10 years ago, it's a border line village, and they did the theater 10 years ago when we were there. Hajang community. Then after 10 years, when we went there, they have become older now, all these people. And all of them came and they were very happy to see us. And the best part of all this project is we end up with a big feast. We invite the villagers, they cook, they enjoy, they do their all this musics and dances and everything. And then at night, they have their own drinks also, they make their drinks, that they make their own alcohol. So, and then at night we just, so these people after 10 years, when we talked about the theater that they played before, all the, they brought out the trunk, big trunk of things, And all the materials that they, like all the outfits are, torn, or they never used it. So after 10 years, we had to repair them. And then they did it again. So that kind of things, we don't want to see it. We want to see it like, they're doing their own rituals every year. But why don't they have any cash in hands to do it? They have no earnings. So they have their land maybe, and some of them have land issues also. So that kind of things are happening. And many of them are like, moving out of the places. So that's very sad part. So we don't know, it's very confusing. Yeah.
Any other question?
Yeah.
I mean,
Can I just say one thing? I'm from India, and I've traveled a lot inside Bangladesh in rural areas. And what is striking in the last 20 years, people used to be very Bengali, Muslim or Hindu. Today, when you go there, you hear more Bollywood songs.
That's true.
So, and the main thing, as you said, is they dream of dream. They dream to come to Europe.
Yeah.
They sell their land and they come to Europe. So, culturally, especially in terms of art, it's very difficult for you people, I can understand.
I just add one. Do you have any? We are 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Actually, the colonization or ethnic community still is a big issue all over the world. You know that residency, student residency, residential school in Canada, how the ethnic people are affected. If you see the America, New Zealand, Australia, everywhere they're suppressed, and it's nothing different with us also. So if we learn the process, why don't we repeat? So this is like a kind of, we're artists, we cannot change the world, and we don't want to change the world. The world will change automatically. It's like a culture, it's like a river. So things is to be aware, or maybe no, I'm not sure about what is the awareness, but the things is, how their life is style, you don't need to force them. Like, before they didn't wear the top, the girls didn't wear the tops, they're coming to the, bazaar, bringing things to the bazaar, and the army forcing them to wear the dress, because what is the sense of the dress, and what kind of dress they will wear? You're making dress or they're making dress? If they're making dress, then they should wear what kind of, they're making dress. So these are confusion, it's being happened since, while the world is expanding. And the issue Lipi is talking about in the consumerism, like in the Coca-Cola bottle in their room, and they love to drink the bottle. I don't have an objection, or I don't want to say, but I just feeling how the Coca-Cola bottle reached there, because like you said, the Bollywood, because the filmmaker and the consumer world, they have a kind of, they are alliance. They are going to the consumer in their subconscious mind, and they push through themselves to have that thing, right? So it's quite interesting. It doesn't matter they're using the plastic, but it's the matter they used to do, the mud pot, and it's very easy, and we people are using, because it's a sophisticated nowadays, handmade things. So there's the kind of things coming through our project, and of course we are learning, and we start very innocently without knowing anything, and once we go, we learn a lot. We come with a lot of question. That question, make us, crazy to find what is the solution, and we don't know. And one day maybe the solution in there.
Thank you very much.